All right, everyone, ready to explore something new. Today, we're diving into the world of travel and tourism, specifically how India is planning a massive shakeup.
Yeah, we're talking about a potential game changer.
Exactly. We got our hands on Booking.com's latest report, How India Travels 2024, and let me tell you, it's got some seriously interesting insights. So if you're curious about how a country positions itself to become a global tourism powerhouse, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Right off the bat, the report hits you with this ambitious goal.
And it's a big one.
India wants to increase its inbound tourism tenfold by 2047. Tenfold.
Oh, that's a pretty huge leap. I mean, what's the driving force behind such a bold target?
It's all about impact, really, and on multiple levels. First off, economically speaking, they're looking at tourism as a major engine for growth. We're talking job creation, not just in the obvious hospitality industry, but across the board, transportation, local crafts, technology even. Then there's the whole global influence aspect.
Yeah, makes sense.
India wants to solidify its position on the world stage, and tourism is a fantastic way to do that. It's about showcasing culture, heritage, attracting investment.
Okay, so big goals, big picture, but let's bring it down to earth a bit.
Yeah.
We're talking about attracting travelers, and today's traveler, they know what they want. So
Yeah.
what does the report say about who's interested in India?
Well, it's interesting, actually. The report surveyed travelers from 19 different countries, so we're getting a pretty diverse range of perspectives. And one of the key takeaways is that it's not just about attracting tourists from China anymore.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, we've been hearing a lot about, China's growing middle class and their travel patterns, but it sounds like things are shifting.
Definitely. There's a real diversification happening. The report highlights the US, the UK, Germany, the UAE as key markets. This suggests a change in, global perception. India's appeal is broadening.
Okay, so how is India, like, strategically positioning itself to cater to such a diverse range of interests?
They're playing both ends of the spectrum. You've got the classic destinations like Delhi and Mumbai for those iconic experiences, right? The Taj Mahal, the Gateway of India. But then they're also really pushing lesser known places like Hampi, which has these incredible ancient ruins, or Leh, nestled in the Himalayas.
Oh, wow. I actually haven't heard of Hampi.
It's amazing. You should look it up
I
afterwards.
definitely will. So they're basically saying whether you're into those iconic landmarks or you're more of an off-the-beaten-path kind of traveler, India has something for you.
Exactly. But of course, having these diverse destinations is one thing. Actually getting people there and making their experience smooth, that's another challenge altogether. And the report delves into that too.
All right, so what's the secret sauce? What's India's game plan for actually making this tourism explosion happen?
They've got a multi-pronged approach, which is smart. First off, accessibility is key. They're focusing on increasing direct international flights. The idea being less hassle for travelers.
Makes
Yeah.
total sense. I know I always appreciate a direct flight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And alongside that, they're also trying to simplify visa processes,
Hmm.
making it easier to actually get into the country, which it can sometimes be a roadblock for people.
Right. But those are, they come with their own set of challenges, right? Like,
Yeah.
I imagine a surge in air traffic, even with more direct flights, can put a strain on existing infrastructure.
You're absolutely right. That's a crucial point. And then there's the balance of making things easier without compromising security, which is always a concern. So it'll be interesting to see how they address those hurdles.
Definitely. Now, something else that caught my eye in the report was this whole idea of leveraging technology and data to improve the travel experience. I'm curious to learn more about that.
Yeah, this is where things get really interesting. They're talking about personalization on a whole new level. Think like using AI to create custom itineraries based on your specific interests or, real-time translation services to help break down language barriers. And India's tech industry is booming, so they've definitely got the resources to make some of these things happen.
That sounds super cool, but I also can't help but think about the potential downsides, like data privacy concerns, for example. How do you gather all this information and ensure it's being used responsibly?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something they acknowledge in the report.
Mm.
Balancing the benefits of technology with ethical considerations, it's crucial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap things up, I want to touch on something we haven't really addressed yet. We've talked about, economic impact, attracting international travelers, but tourism, when done right, can be about so much more than just dollars and cents, don't you think?
100%. And this is something I'm really passionate about. It has the power to foster genuine cross-cultural understanding, break down stereotypes, create connections between people from completely different walks of life, and let's not forget about the impact on local communities. Tourism can help revitalize traditional crafts, preserve cultural heritage sites, and most importantly, empower these communities economically. So it's a really powerful tool when used thoughtfully.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to acknowledge the potential downsides too. We've got the environmental impact, which is huge. Everything from, carbon emissions from flights to waste management in these tourist destinations. And then there's the potential strain on infrastructure, especially in those less visited areas that might not be equipped to handle a huge influx of visitors.
Yeah, it's a balancing act for sure. And you have to approach it with a lot of care and forethought. Now, one thing that really got me thinking was this. The report focuses mainly on inbound tourism, right? But imagine the impact if more Indians themselves had the opportunity to explore their own country.
Now, that is a really interesting thought. What kind of impact do you think that would have on India's future?
Oh, I think the potential is huge. Think about the cultural exchange that could happen within India itself, the economic benefits that could reach even more remote communities, and even just the sense of national pride that could come from, truly experiencing and appreciating the diversity and richness of your own country.
It's definitely something to ponder. So, as we leave this deep dive, what really stuck with you? What questions are you still grappling with?
That's the beauty of a deep dive like this, right?
Wow.
It's not about having all the answers, but it's about starting the conversation, getting people thinking.
Exactly. So keep those thoughts coming. Let us know what resonated with you, what you'd like to explore further. That's all the time we have for today. Until next time.